Hi, this is RockinRobin, and today we're looking at 6 vintage toys you need to look for to sell on eBay or Mercari or wherever you sell. Stay with us. Vintage toys have always been a good seller on eBay. We have made quite a bit of money selling vintage toys. I want to tell you a little bit about the toys, some of the toys to look out for, and some of the profits and some things that we did. Now, these wind-up toys are great to look up. You gotta look, and a lot of them are German, and some are Japanese, and some are American. Now, I remember one time I found one for $5 at a garage sale. Well, I sold it for about $300, and then the next day I went to a flea market, and my partner in crime says, "What are you doing?" I says, "Can I go to a tag sale while, you take care of the flea market?" She said, "Go ahead, find some more wind-up toys." We laughed. Well, I found a wind-up motorcycle and a wind-up car, and they were $25 for the pair, and we made another $300, like $150 a piece. So wind-up toys are a good thing to look for, and you're going to find motorcycles and you're going to find cars. Now, the next thing that we look for a lot are vintage Disney. Now, we sell Disney of all kind, but there are a lot of different kinds of toys. Look at this guy. You never know what you're going to find and what the value is. You have to look them up. That's always key. But Disney toys do sell well, and it's something that we talk about all the time, but we don't really talk that much about vintage toys. So look them up, because you just don't know what you're going to see. And of course, like everything else, they have to be in good condition, and you have to put all that in the description. Items could be plush, they could be plastic. You have to keep your eyes open, and you want to look for the vintage stuff, because vintage always seems to be worth more. I don't know why it is. I guess it's just a lot harder to find. And look at that. Isn't that something that's a rocking horse? That's an old Disney rocking horse. Very cute. So I just want to keep that in your mind to look for Disney. Now, third on our list would be toy trains. All right, Lionel trains in particular, but there could be some others as well. Now, we were lucky one time back in Connecticut. We went garbage hunting on the day everybody puts their garbage out. We found 2 or 3 boxes full of Lionel trains. Now, they weren't now the most expensive trains in the world, but we made $400 or $500 on them. But some of them will sell for $400 to $500 each, depending on what you have. Now, I am not a train person who collects trains myself. So yes, I will look them all up, but sometimes I'll go and I'll ask about, do you have any trains? Do you have any Lionel trains? And maybe I'll look up 1 or 2. The engines are always seem to be worth more, and if I find something good, I'll sell them. If you go to auctions, you'll always see, if there's trains, a lot of people checking them out. Now, if you happen to be the first at a garage sale and you see trains, make sure you keep them to the side and start looking them up, because trains are a big, big seller. They are worth a lot of money. I know a guy in Connecticut who all he does is sell trains, and he has a lot of them. Used to own a toy store. Well, he does very well, and trains are big. So that is another one you need to keep your eyes open for. And the brands can vary. It doesn't have to be Lionel, but sometimes commercial advertising trains and pieces will do well also. Something good to keep your eyes open for. And look at this, even something like this. Yeah, extra pieces. People, some of these are hard to find. Who's going to find a crane? It's a Marks. Marks is always a good name, as well as Lionel. So next on our list is something we always keep our eyes open for, and that would be different kinds of action figures. Whether it's wrestlers, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, you name it. Action figures, there are some that are worth a lot of money. Sometimes I go through bags. If you've ever gone through a Goodwill or something like that and have a bag full of action figures. Some of them might even be Barbies. And sometimes if they're old, I'll take a look. I'll go and you don't break the bag, but you go in and you try to find the name on the back. There's usually a name and a date on the back. Try to find it and look up one or two, and you never know what you're going to find. Now, if they're new in box or new in package, it's easy, and you can always scan them on eBay to see what they're selling for. But we have found some really good action figures that have been worth a lot of money, and you have to keep your eyes open for it. Do not overlook them when you're looking for items, because you just don't know. Look at this. This is a nurse. Who would have thought a G.I. Joe type nurse would be worth a lot? But I guess they were very rare to make, and they're considered one of the best items to find in action figures because they are definitely worth a lot of money. So I wanted to tell you that. Of course, condition does count as well. Counts with everything. Look at this guy. He is a Masters of the Universe. And when I go to a garage sale, I might not even know what half of these characters are. Megatron, I wouldn't know who that is. I wouldn't necessarily even think to look up, but you have to, because look at how much he sold for. All the items are showing are sold items. So next on our list are these trucks, and a lot of them are nylons. Now, for us, we used to do a lot of things on consignment, and we had a friend who said, hey, my husband has a whole bunch of trucks. Would you put them up on eBay for us? And we always take 30%. And so we took a bunch of their vintage trucks. We sold some for $500 and $600. We were both happy and surprised at the same time. Now, you're always looking for something that has a pressed steel, and condition is important, but it can be damaged. Most of the time, these were made between the 1930s and 60s. 1950s is always a good area range, and you never know what you're going to see, and we're always on the lookout for these types of trucks because you just don't know. So next on our list is space toys. Who would have thought toys made in the 50s and 60s for space would be worth something? Well, they are. We're always looking for anything related to space. Back then, that was a big deal, and people loved them. Look at this. This is a space gun. You're going to shoot and you're going to hurt somebody. Now, if they're vintage, they can be worth thousands of dollars. You just have to keep your eyes open. It's really surprising, the cost of some of these, and anything. I don't know if they have to say space on them. Something you just consider space. Remco is a good name. You can see this was 1964. Science fiction. Hey, that's what you're looking for. And even some of these are some kind of space figures. I never heard of them. I never saw them. But if you see them at a garage sale, make sure you check them out. And here is a specific one. I always keep my eyes open. This is the vintage Lost in Space robot. Now, this one's only $19.98, and he's still worth $150. Great find. So this is RockinRobin. Those are some of the items that we look for when we look for vintage toys. We don't consider ourselves just vintage toys. We do a lot of vintage collectibles of all kinds. But those in specific are ones that we always know we can make our money on, and we want you to take a look and look for those. So this is RockinRobin. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, hit the bell, give us a big thumbs up. Now you go shopping, you find something good, you put it up on eBay, and you go make yourself some money.